Kevin.
Wow. What?
You get this only nowhere else but you. Kevin is after that. Kevin, I'm not gonna lie.
Now we're not look at this. A carved penguin. There it is. There it is.
Oh no. Are the O's fine? Are the Orioles fine, Kevin?
I am so embarrassed.
Okay.
The Orioles stole it. That game was stolen. It was stolen from them, then they stole it right back.
What?
Oh my
Wait, what's going on?
What is
happening?
What is going? Was it a diving play? He bobbled the ball.
What is happening? Are they challenging it? No. Other wall. No.
Kevin, I don't know what you saw, how much you saw. I've been chugging champagne. Sure, I spilled a lot, but what a game, man.
He will be the legendary
Bird Fish.
How about that?
Bird Fish fans, stand up. We did it.
What can I say? What can I say?
And are we back? Are we back? Is this any better? Are we back? We're back? Okay, we went to the hot spot. We're back, baby. Just like the freaking Orioles. Just like the goddamn Orioles. 2 wins against the White Sox. Hang the damn banner. Hang the damn banner. 2-0 against the White Sox this year. Kobe Mayo gets assaulted. Surprised we're not pressing charges on Sosa for that assault on the first baseline. Lucky the feds aren't involved because that was just keep that off the baseball diamond. Absolutely unreal. White Sox got to be better than that. You can't just be going out there just jumping people on the base pads. White Sox got to be better. Got to be better. Can't have that happen. Just, if you're the White Sox, man, can't let that happen. Can't let that happen. But what game? What a game. Orioles back in the win column. 2-game win streak against the White Sox. Getting something going. These are games you have to win. You got to win these games. Listen, you can go out there and we talk about, this month, May was supposed to be the easy month. And that was hasn't been. It has been the exact opposite. They have not performed at all, so it's good. Even if it's the White Sox, you got to get You got to get back in the win column. Orioles are starting to put a little something together here. They've, it does suck because, as I said yesterday, you hate to live in the past, but man, would you be feeling a lot better about these past two games if you were able to go out and take one of the two that you lost to the Cardinals? You could take one of the two. I mean, they should have swept it, but that's a whole other argument. They should have won all three of those games, and then you'd be feeling damn good riding a 6-game win streak right now. But instead, you lose those two, and then it forced your hand. They have to sweep the White Sox. Like that's the only option you have. When you sit there and you give up, you have put yourself in this hole. You have no other option but to simply sweep the White Sox. You have to. It's like we keep saying on this show, they're no longer in the spot where it's like, oh, just, win series. Oh, just win 2 of 3. If you win 2 of 3, all it's doing is gaining a game. You got to win 3 straight. You got to start putting 4 or 5-game win streaks together if you want to miraculously climb out of this. If there's any hope to climb out of this, you got to do exactly what they're doing. You have to do exactly what they're doing. You have to beat these teams. Has it been pretty? No. 4-2. Felix Bautista not looking great. Gets 2 saves. So, hey, a save's a save. Austin Slater. If Austin Slater would have become a hero this game, this live would have been a whole lot different. Let's check in on the box score, though, from this game. Go through it together like we always do. Pull it up. All right. So, starting off the game, let me do this real fast. Starting off the game, Jackson Holliday, homer. I mean, listen, Tony Manzolino said in his press conference today that as soon as he was named interim manager, he went up to Jackson Holliday and told him that he would be starting every single day. He's playing every single day, regardless of if it's a lefty or a righty or what's going on. That's what we've been waiting for. That is what we should have been doing this entire season. Listen, last year I get he's a 20-year-old kid. It was his first year up. He hadn't really had many at-bats. You'll want to protect him a bit when he first comes up. Whatever. That happens. Tony Manzolino is doing exactly what they should have been doing this entire season. Jackson Holliday should be in every single game. No ifs, ands, or buts. No, oh, he's played, He should play every single day. If you want to give him an off day because he's played in 9, 10, 15 straight games, okay. That's fine. If he's sitting once every 2 weeks, that's fine. I'll take that. But Jackson Holliday should be out there every single day, especially when he's doing stuff like this, leading off the game with a home run. Another 0 for Adley, 0 for 3 with 1 walk. Gunnar, 0 for 4. Another tough day for that middle of the lineup. Rhino Hearn keeps his hitting streak. He's 10-game hit streak now. Rhino Hearn's absolutely unreal. 1 for 4 also scores a run. Got robbed by Austin Slater at the end. I mean, come on. Why are we doing this, Slater? Ramon Arias 0 for 3. Kobe Mayo 1 for 3 with the RBI. RBI in the greatest, I guess, foul bait of all time. I mean, the kid looked for the foul. He wanted the and one. You can't blame him. Heston Kjerstad 0 for 3 as well. Dylan Carlson looking good. He just is one of those guys where he's just a steady force. 1 for 3. Dylan Carlson, he's not going to make or break the team, but I enjoy when he's out there. Jorge Mateo. What a game for Jorge Mateo. Just the epitome. I mean, the first ball hit to him, he completely misreads. He then is able to find it, gets the catch, records the out. Then on the, in the game, he walk, steal. So he gets 2 walks, steals, and then he also the 2-run homer. Also in center field, he almost loses his arm again running into Heston Kjerstad. It was a Jorge Mateo game. I don't know if it's a I mean, I don't. It's not always great, you know. It's not always for the best reasons, like him playing center field and he and Kjerstad almost each losing an arm. It's not always pretty, but it was the Jorge Mateo game, like he so often finds a way in these. I mean, we talked about before. Jorge always has a singular month where he's just on fire. Maybe that's June. Maybe we're ending May on the hot streak. Maybe June is Jorge Mateo's month. I mean, why not? Why not Jorge? That's all I'm gonna say. Why not Jorge? Let's move on to the pitching, but before we do that, have to shout out Walter. Walter saying, I love Manzolino. 2 days in a row, a starter was allowed the extra inning over getting pulled at 82 pitches, not to mention all the things he does, like steal and sack bunt to help the struggling offense score runs. I agree. I feel like I even put a tweet out. I love that Manzolino the past 2 games has gone kind of against it felt like throughout this season, one of the biggest complaints that people had for Brandon Hyde was his just quick leash, pulling guys at inopportune times. Hey, you get a guy who goes out there, and yes, he does have, 2 outs in the 5th inning, and he's got a guy on second, and instead of letting him go and take over and, hey, finish out your inning, they go to the bullpen. Now you're having a guy come into it, runners on base. It's not a clean inning. It puts the bullpen at a disadvantage. So I do love what Manzolino's doing with this. Then the sack bunt and everything. I feel like they are playing an aggressive type of baseball that I love to see. Also see that, yeah. I thought it was vintage Albert Bell. I mean, just absolute one of the wildest I've never seen a player just try to get the end one. I mean, he's been watching a lot of, Kobe, man, if you know him, he's a big, I think he's a big Florida Panthers fan. So he's been watching a lot of hockey. Maybe he got a little carried away. May have gotten a little carried away there, but no, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Miss 100%. And Walter, also appreciate you again. Mateo walked twice today, which feels like 2 more walks than he's had in his whole career. Yeah, they said on Masson during the game that this is just the second or third time in Jorge Mateo's career that he has had 2 walks in a game. I did not see that coming. You could have given me a million opportunities to guess who had 2 walks today, and Jorge Mateo would have been the last person I guessed. Like Jorge Mateo finding not only it was just everything about today's game with Jorge. The almost taking Heston's arm off, misplaying a few balls in the field, the homer, 2-run homer, the 2 walks, the stolen bases. It was the complete Jorge Mateo experience. If you just want pure electricity, but you don't know if it's going to be good or bad electricity, welcome to the Jorge Mateo experience. Plain and simple. Yeah, I give it to him. He found a way. He found a way, and he helped the Orioles win the ball game. Let's go to the pitching side. Starting off the game, Dean Kremer. Give Dean a round of freaking applause. This is what we like to see from your pitchers. Just another example of Zach Eflin 7 shutout innings last night, people are going to say, well, it's the White Sox. Yeah, you're right. This is what you should be doing. You can take away and be like, hey, you know, it's just the White Sox. He should be doing this against the White Sox. You're right. He should be doing it. That's why you're happy with 6 innings, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts from Dean. Keeps you in this game, gives you the opportunity to win. He gets it done. Yanier Cano, yeah. This is it's getting concerning for Cano. I'm just gonna say it. Oh, and Kevin's asking for a link, so let me real fast send that before I continue my thought on Yanier Cano. But yeah, Yanier Cano is has not been great. And in fact, in a lot of ways, Yanier Cano has been over the past, 3, 4, 5 outings has been kind of the guy that you look at and you are kind of concerned, which is not the way that you wanted it to be. Keegan Aiken, next up, you had 2/3 of an inning, gets out of it. Then Sir Anthony Dominguez. Is Sir Anthony Dominguez the most reliable reliever they have right now? I know today was not perfect with the walk, but Sir Anthony Dominguez feels like if there's one guy you want on the mound with at least some sort of lead with the game on the line, Sir Anthony Dominguez has turned into that guy. I, d- I don't get why Felix was out there again today. I get it's the White Sox. I get they're trying to get get him some sort of confidence. And they're trying to, yes, yesterday was his season high in pitches. Okay, go out against a weaker White Sox team and find yourself. Go get hopefully a quote unquote easier save. It's not what it was. Um, that is the opposite of what it was. 2 more walks for Felix. He just doesn't look like himself. And I'm not saying it's like, oh, he's not the same pitcher. It's fatigue. He is still getting back. I mean, he has not pitched this type of, this many times in over 500 days. So for him right now, it's all about just getting back to having I don't want to call it the stamina, but in a lot of ways it is the stamina. It's having the ability to say, okay, we can use him after a season high in pitches. We can go out and we can throw him against the White Sox. I don't know if we're there yet. I don't know if we are at the point where you can do that. And he hasn't shown, over the past 2 games to have really to show us the confidence to have in that. So glad he gets 2 saves. At the end of the day, hey, listen, 2 saves is 2 saves. A win is a win. And yeah, see, I agree. A closer without a doubt should, and he's going to be. He's going to be. We're still working back up. We're still getting to that point where we can use him on back-to-back games. They've tried it twice. I just don't know if after a season high in pitches, I was ready to send him back out there today. If you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Kevin and Zach React. I think Kevin's behind the scenes. I'm going to give him. Kevin, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Kevin. What's on your mind? Orioles win.
Oh yeah, the Orioles win. Just complete the sweep tomorrow, and we'll get what we asked for. First sweep in 15 years, hopefully. So, yeah. I mean, I would, good to see Jackson lead off with the homer. Jorge doing his thing. Although, did we get an update on Jorge yet with the elbow?
We have, as I was saying right before you got on, was it not just the most Jorge Mateo game of all time? Almost takes he and Heston's arms off, stealing bags, 2 walks out of nowhere, and then the 2-run homer. It was just the most, every time Jorge was involved, it was electricity, but you were also pretty scared.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what happens when you put an infielder in center and then
You don't say.
a negative defense outfielder in right. So yeah, just I hope Mateo is okay, obviously, but yeah, I wish wish I would have seen a little more from the offense today. But a win is a win is a win is a win, so we can't complain too much.
And that's the thing. And like Kevin, that's the disappointing thing is it's once again you want to see more from the offense. And I keep saying like, yes, it's the White Sox, but you have to win these games. So yeah, you would like to score more runs, but at the way that this team's been playing, I'm just going to take wins. It's like, was Felix great the past 2 games? No, I'm going to take the 2 wins. The fact of the matter is, I said it when I just went over Dean's line. You can look at what Dean did tonight. You can look at what Eflin did last night and go, it's against the White Sox. They should do it. You're right. They should do it. And that's why it's important that they went out there and did it.
Yeah. Again, if you want to dig out of this hole you're in, if you're the Orioles and you're serious about it, then you have to beat up on the teams you're supposed to beat up on. And yeah, these are the 2 worst teams in the AL right now. And
the fight between them too. Kevin, have you ever seen a more electric thing than the benches clearing between the 2 worst teams in the AL?
Just of course. And I have my opinion on that Kobe Mayo thing. I've been taught.
Give it to us, Kevin. You mean the assault when he was assaulted on the base pads?
Yeah, something like that. We'll call it that. Why not?
Kevin, I don't know what you're watching. I saw him get ganged up on the base pads. They were beating him up. They came out of nowhere and just beat him up, Kevin. I stand with Toby Mayo.
Counts, right? Yeah, it's the story.
I stand with Toby Mayo. RBI. He got his first RBI. He wanted to get an and one. He wanted an and one.
Man, yeah, that was something. That was something. But man, I'll tell you, what I want to see tomorrow is an offensive explosion. That's what I want to see.
And they're capable of it, but you're right. We haven't. I think it was Kevin. I saw this stat. Gosh, I want to say so. It was days since the team has won by 5 or more runs. I think second longest was like 20 something. The Orioles are at like 45 days. So we have not seen a quote unquote like offensive explosion or complete team like blowout in over a month. That literally since I guess that adds up to the start of the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, and I mean this is a team you can get away with that against, and I'm glad that they are. I'm glad that they're capitalizing on it and not wasting these starts. I mean, again, you can't waste a start like that from Dean. And yeah, Felix was rough at the end, but got the job done. I caught the end of what you were saying before I popped in here. I definitely would not have pitched Felix in that moment. I would have gone to Kittredge, but I mean, we're probably not going to see Felix for a little bit now. So I mean, yeah. All right, let's do a hypothetical, Zach. Let's say by the trade deadline, the Orioles are 10 games under 500. Actually, 8 games under 500. What do you do? Do you buy? Do you sell? Do you stay put? What do you do? Little of both.
8 games under.
8 games under.
It depends on for me, it's the wild card. If they're within 5 games of the wild card, I think they buy. I don't think you go all in. I don't think you're going for any rentals. But if you're, the Mitch Kellers out there, I think you do sort of, maybe a buy and sell. I'll play, maybe a buy and sell if you can get a guy for a good price with multiple years. you go get him. But if you have guys that maybe you're like, hey, we're not going to re-sign him, I don't think he, helps in the immediate future. I think they could get off of them as well.
Yeah. I'm going to call them the core four in O'Hearn, Mullins, Sagano, and Eflin. What would you do with those four guys?
That's where it's tough. That's where it genuinely gets pretty tough because I don't. You can't. Yeah, and if you're within 5, then maybe you keep them. If you're within 5 games of the wild card, you keep them. If not, you sell them. I think you sell all the guys that you're not gonna keep.
Yeah.
I
by
would.
the way, I think we are both in agreement they should keep O'Hearn. So.
Yeah. I mean, he's the only one, and it's the little things that matter, Kevin. He was the first one out there for the fight. First one out there.
Classic Ryan. You know what? I don't know why it always brings back my memory to this, but when Ventura plunked Machado and they had that whole thing, Kansas City, Baltimore, I always remember Chris Davis being the first one out there and just falling over everyone into the pile. That's always, whenever there's a fight and people come out, the first one there, I always just remember Chris Davis coming out with that Ventura Machado fight and just toppling over everybody and just pushing everybody down.
Kevin, it's the little things. It's the little things that we remember. And it's the little things. I mean, last year we talked about it, the guys that were out there for the Yankees fights that were, front and center.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, I think we're going to get into call-ins. I'm about to put the link in. A little shorter show today as we just kind of get going. So, channel members, we'll get into a few call-ins. But, Kevin, I do think tomorrow, I said before you got on, this is, doing exactly what you hoped for against the White Sox is good and fine. And I don't want to live in the past, but, man, does it make it frustrating that you couldn't have won all 3, if 2 of, if not all 3 against the Cardinals. Because, Kevin, if you swept the Cardinals right there, like you could have, you had a chance in every single game to win. We're sitting here on a 6-game win streak, and I think we're feeling a whole lot different.
Yeah, and again, like they're doing what they're supposed to do against a bad team, right? The White Sox are a bad team. But, you also have to do it against the middling and the good teams. So, it's one thing to beat up on a bad team, or I guess, to win. Again, I know they're not like, winning these games 10-2 or anything, but like it's one thing to beat bad teams. But, what they've shown so far this season outside of their division, which again, they're just the kings of the AL East, but outside of their division, you have to capitalize on it. And again, it's like you do have to sweep. That's what you have to do. I feel like
they have to. If they lose tomorrow, it's a failure of a series.
I don't care. I don't care if they win in every single category and they lose the game by 1 run. I'd be extremely disappointed. Like we were talking about the Angels, before they went on their tear. If you don't sweep the Angels or sweep some of these bad teams to try to get your footing back, and it wouldn't be as big of an issue if they didn't have such a big hole to climb out of, but they do. It's the reality. So, if they're serious about it, a sweep has to be on the agenda for tomorrow. So
it does. I agree. Okay, let's get into our first call in. We got Joe. Joe, how we feeling?
Doing all right, man. We're out here bush hogging, mowing the grass down the way Dean mowed the batters down, baby.
I love it. Good. Oh, Dino. Joe, I mean, it's what you want to see.
And I mean, let's be honest. That center fielder should have called that ball. Should have never been a collision. But you got an infielder and the outfielder.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the right fielder's defensive metrics are very low at the moment. It's a rough season for my boy. So,
Yeah, not great, but
since he got in that collision at second base, he hasn't been the same.
No, he has not.
Twice. The Yankees have ruined him twice now. So, but I was kind of hoping for an Austin Slater revenge game just so I could
No,
see you rant? Just so I could see
we
you
did not
rant for
need that,
20
Joe.
minutes?
He had half of one. He had half of one.
Yeah, he
mean,
got the catch. That's all we needed. That will allow him to get that. That's all. That's all he gets.
I mean, it would have been sad to see the Orioles lose to the White Sox, but it would have been entertaining value to watch Zach Bollinger rant for 10 minutes about how Austin Slater
It would have.
is
Oh,
the
it would
Oriole
have been
killer.
something.
It's all right, Joe. You'll get that at the trade deadline when the Orioles trade for him again.
It's possible. I wouldn't put it past Mike Elias.
Could be. I never say never. Never say never.
I wouldn't put
You
it
truly
past
never
him.
know what this.
Why not? You know, the count
You
is
truly.
3 now. The count is at 3.
Yeah.
We made it to 3 last time. Can we make it to 4? That is the question. I think we can. I think we can sweep the White Sox and go out to Seattle. And Seattle's got some tough pitching. But
Just win and keep it rolling.
you know, we can do it. And we're 20 minutes from first pitch in Fayetteville. So game 2 coming up tonight against Creighton. So in the winner's bracket, Coastal Carolina took care of business last night in the coastal bracket out there on the Sun Belt champs. They get to play East Carolina today, so it's going to be a tough game. And looks like the Little Rock Trojan season might be done because they took an ass whooping from LSU yesterday. But did you see LSUS? So that's Louisiana State University Shreveport, 59-0 on the season, 30-0 in conference, won the division, whatever. I think they're Division III World Series. Didn't lose a game. Team batting average is 369.
Damn.
I mean, that's
We need their hitting coach in Baltimore. We need their hitting coach in Baltimore.
Baseball. We need to get some of that in Baltimore. That is true. But
hell yeah, Joe.
We'll see what happens tonight. Shouldn't be a difficult game to beat Creighton and continue in the winning bracket, but it's baseball. You never know.
It's baseball. You really never know, Joe.
Sellout crowd in Fayetteville. They've been lined up since last Sunday. They started lining up last Sunday around Baum Walker camping. So that's how crazy Razorback fans are. They go nuts.
Let's see if they can pull it off, Joe. We'll be rooting for you. Appreciate you calling in as always, my friend.
And we're going to go for the sweep tomorrow.
Let's do it.
I'm not going to fall in this ditch.
Don't fall in the ditch and let's get this
sweep. Do not. Stay safe out there.
Yeah, and Kevin,
Joe,
Kevin, quit using the turn signal. You're in Baltimore. They don't do that shit.
Oh, are you not a safe driver, Joe? Come on. I want to be safe out here.
I'm not driving in Baltimore. I know Baltimore doesn't use turn signals.
Man, I gotta adhere to the rules of the road, Joe. Come on now.
Jeez, Joe, we appreciate you. We'll catch you next time.
Appreciate you, Joe.
Let's head to our next caller. We got Steven behind. Steven, what's up, my friend?
Good to see you, Steven.
How you guys doing?
Better after a win.
Yeah, if we can keep another series going here, we get to the game tomorrow, be in a better mood. That means we've won 2 out of the last 3 series. So,
yep.
I think, though, we still need to start bringing up some guys from Norfolk just to see what we've got there and look and trade bait, just to see if we want to keep them or if we want to trade them. Because they can't keep hoarding on all these prospects and not bring them up.
Yeah, it kind of feels like this is the last dance almost, where if you can get a nice little streak going with the White Sox and the Mariners, like you can feel better about, hey, can they maybe sneak into that final wild card spot? I don't really. Look, to me, this season, it's a pretty tough season, and I'm not sure.
They would have to go on one hell of a tear.
Yeah, and look, it'd have to be 1 in a million type.
Yeah, like 15-0, go 15-0 or something like that for like an entire month, and like win almost every game for the month.
Yeah. So this feels like it's the last chance, and then if that doesn't work out, then
they just need to blow stuff up. They just need to blow up what we got, get rid of the people that we know we're not going to keep. Yeah. Then go into the farm, bring up people in the farm, evaluate, see what we have, to see if we want to keep them or trade them at the end of the year. That way we can bring in pieces that we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
Yeah, I think, and I think it is that very strange. They have to toe that line, like you were talking about. Of okay, we have to see what we want while also trying to stay
right,
semi-competitive. They do want to try, and Manzolino actually alluded to that earlier today, saying, yeah, Kobe's going to be playing first, he's going to be DHing, but we can't guarantee he's playing every day
right,
because while we want him to develop, we also still want to win.
right.
We gotta try to win. So it is balancing that, and I think that can be one of the tougher aspects is making sure that hey, yeah, you love to see Kobe Mayo today, the RBI single. His
Mhm.
at bats were a lot more competitive, even the ones he got out on.
Well,
But you still do want to.
he had more consistency down in the minors because he had repeated at bats, so he
Yeah,
got better. I'm sure they worked on his swing down there a bit. It's just that, like Ryan always says, everybody says, there's the minors and there's the majors, and the gap between the two these days are very big.
very, very big, very, very
Not like it
big.
used to be. Like his even Cal Ripken when he first came up, he was a 174 batter
Mhm.
for the
Yeah,
first couple years. It took him
yeah,
3 years to really get it through. So um, we just need to bring. I honestly think we need to bring in fundamental coaches that work with fundamentals.
yeah.
All these young players
And I
because
think that's why they just brought in the new coach as someone who's just been around the game, and he's honestly just a guy. He's had over, I think it was like 1,300 at bats in the majors. Like he's played, games for X amount of years, and not only that, but then been a
right,
coach for so long. Where it is someone who has more of that idea of fundamentals, playing in the game, being there, and not just analytics, which I think can
right.
really help this team.
Analytics only takes you so far. You have to actually look the product, what the person is doing, and try and
Yeah,
correct the movement or whatever that's causing them to be off the wall.
Mhm.
That's why I
Yeah,
love Buck Showalter so much. Not only
yeah.
did he know the stats, he could look at someone and say, "Yeah, we can fix him if he does this." And then it's just a matter of getting the coach to work on that motion.
Yeah. I mean,
So
he even said in his one interview with us, he found out about Jonathan Scope because he heard him hitting and he
mhm.
heard how he came off the bat. And he's like, I want to look at that kid more. He's like,
Yeah,
I want to go out and see what he can do because he recognized the player. It wasn't the analytics telling
right,
him, oh, he hit this. He could tell by the sound of the bat. He's like, oh, that's a major league player.
right. Analytics only takes you so far. So
Yeah.
it can tell you that you have a propensity to do something. Whether or not
Yeah.
you can consistently do that, that's another story. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree. And that's yeah, and Kieran's saying it here, computers don't play baseball.
right,
It's
exactly.
true. It's the
You
human
have to
element.
react to what's on the field, and sometimes some players can do that, some players can't. So
Yeah. Steven, appreciate you calling in as always, my friend. You have a good one.
you too.
Awesome. I'll get Kevin back on the screen. Kevin, you're back.
Yeah, my phone flipped out on me. Sorry, Steven. If you're still listening, I appreciate you, man.
Yep. And let's keep it rolling. We got Gordon behind the scenes. Gordon, what's up, my man? Oh, we
Going on,
got Gordon
Gordon?
locked in.
Oh, you guys are here. It's like, no, I'm joking. What's going on, guys? Can you see me?
How
Hold
you
on,
doing, my man?
let me flip my phone up. There we go. My phone's on 14%. I'm doing
Yeah.
well. How's everybody doing today?
I'm
Well, it's
doing
always
better
better
after
after
a
a
win.
win.
Yes, always. Guess who saw Jim Palmer today? I saw him earlier today at Ashley's Furniture. He was doing some signings, and I went earlier today, and I showed him my very first Adley Rutschman rug that I like. My first, not even Adley Rutschman rug, but my first rug that I've made just of like an athlete, and it's like my little prototype, a keepsake. So he signed it for me. So that was
Oh, that's
cool.
I saw
awesome. Let's
that.
go.
That's sick. Oh,
Yeah,
so that was
like.
like your first. I was gonna say that still looked incredible.
Yeah, did you see it? I posted it on
Yeah,
Instagram, and I think it
yeah,
looks a hot mess. But it's like the first time and not really knowing what I'm doing. But looking at it and seeing like the things that I do now, it's just like man, it's just night and day. Like I really take a lot of pride in that. That that's one thing I do like to boast about is like from the very beginning of how things looked back then versus now. Like I actually do feel good about the product that I put out there. So yeah, that was a highlight of my day. So
That's
yeah, I thought that was
let's go.
cool.
Gordon, I'm not gonna lie. I saw your post, and you were like, "Yeah, he signed like my prototype first book," and I was like, "That was the first." Like you were like, "Yeah, it's just this guy. It was just threw it together." I'm like, the fact that you threw that together is just your first one, unbelievable.
Yeah, thank you. But man, that was exciting. Went to Ashley's. He was doing, like I said, doing a signing there. So I was like, you know what? Let me go there and then meet him and say what's up. He said it was funny because he said he actually remembered the rug that I did for Gunner in last year.
Yeah,
So I
on
thought that was
opening
cool.
day.
Yep.
Yeah, that was that opening
Right.
weekend.
Yep, man. But these Orioles, man, give you a heart attack. Even though it's the uh, White Sox, I'm just like, man, can we score more than 4 runs and not get it down to Felix Bautista walking two people and just, I just thought it was the picture perfect ending was going to happen to just put how this season is for the Orioles, just for Austin Slater to hit a 3-run home run to take the lead against the Orioles, and
Man,
I just was going to shake my head and be like, well. I kind of expected it, I feel like a lot of Orioles fans that was watching that was just like, oh, here we go. We already know what's going to happen.
Hmm.
But good thing we locked in, we locked in and got the win. As long as we can get this win tomorrow, and we'll be good. But uh, we'll be good. Let's just go out there and get that sweep, and we'll be good. And I know the Mariners have good pitching, and the Orioles are going to go out there and demolish their pitching and make them look like BP, and then we're going to go up. Yeah, we're going to make them look like BP. It's just the Baltimore way. It's like we play terrible teams and we play down to their level, and we play these good teams and have all these expectations of like, oh, they're a good team, they have good pitching, and then we just blow them out or just have like a really good series against them, and it's just like, where has this been all season? So that's just kind of what I'm predicting out there.
Thanks. You know what? I like it. And it's funny. The Mariners are that type of team where they also are very good outside at underperforming. So
Yes.
this is honestly two teams that both have tried to lose their fair share of games. They try to go out there and win. So you just got to stick in it. They're going to give you opportunities, even though their pitching is great. They are no stranger to the 1-0 game, the 2-1 game.
Oh
You
my
just got to
goodness.
capitalize. It just takes one hit, and you can beat those guys. And hey, you sweep the White Sox, you go take 2 of 3 there. You start building something.
Yeah, I don't care if it's the White Sox. I don't even want to talk about it, but if we go out there and sweep them, then that'll bring so much confidence to this team because regardless if it's the White Sox, they're still an MLB team. That's not easy to
Yeah.
go do. And I understand we have a lot of expectations, but we still got to give those guys respect. They are there for a reason, and it's not just, oh, we can beat them. Yes, we can beat them because we know what we have and we know our expectations for this team ourselves, but we still got to go out there and do it. And if we can do that, that'll put a lot of confidence in these guys. And and it's funny because well, last game it was Gunner, but this game Gunner really was. It's like other guys that we wouldn't expect to be carrying this team, and we
Yeah.
have the people that can do it. We just got to go out there and do it. And
Yeah.
it just sucks because I was not expecting this season to be this bad. Like if we regress, that would be one thing, but for it to be this bad, that just hurts and just sucks. It's like nobody expected this. It's just like I don't know who said the wrong thing to make this team a superstition or make this team, have some type of voodoo or curse around it. But it's just like this is the last thing anybody would have expected from this team. But
Yeah.
mhm,
It
for
really is.
sure.
Like you said, if you would have said they regressed, I would have been like, yeah, makes sense. Like, I could see them going to 85 wins. Like, if they were like, yeah, they're going to regress some, it's like, damn, that happens. Never in a million years would have thought that they would be in this downfall.
I know competing in the I don't even want to call it the garbage bowl, but we're not garbage, but our record is garbage, and you
Exactly.
are
And you
who
are
you're,
what,
you are who your record says you are. So
Yep.
it's just like, man, we don't have garbage players, but we're just going out there and being garbage. It feels like, and it's just
Yeah.
I would have never expected this, but it can always get turned around, and I just hope our front office makes the correct decisions, and I don't know what those decisions are, and I'm glad I'm not in that position to even make those decisions, because the hole we're
Yeah.
in is really a really deep hole to, I guess, get out of it right now. And I'm glad I'm a fan and I just get to sit back and just talk to you guys and just say whatever, and like just voice my own opinions. But to be actually out there making those trades and trading people and trying to figure out what to even do with this team, I'm glad I'm not in that position, because we are in a hole right now.
Yep, for sure. It's uh, I, this is like a 10 bad dreams in one. Like
Literally.
everything is going wrong. So yeah, look, start by sweeping this White Sox team that you should sweep, and then this is the last dance. If you can figure it out, great. If not, then the season's been officially over for a little while. It feels like, but it'd be officially over if they
Yeah.
can't go on a run right now. So
We need it bad.
crazy.
We do. Gordon, appreciate you calling in as always, man. Hopefully we talk tomorrow after a sweep. Maybe we
Yes.
can get a little sweep action. Kevin will do another food challenge if we do that. So
Oh no! At this point, we need 10 wins. Let's make, because it's funny, because as soon as I said that, we went on a 3-game win streak, and I don't want to say it was me, but as soon as we talked about it, we went on a
yeah.
3-game win streak, and then let's say 10-game win streak. We're
All
already
right,
at
10
we can
games.
knock them off. No, matter of fact, start small. 5-game win streak.
5 games.
Yeah, 5 games. Milestone.
Sweep tomorrow, win
All
the
right.
first 2 in Seattle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm
All
good.
right, there you go. Gordon, appreciate you as always.
Yes.
You have a good one, my friend. You stay safe. Awesome. Appreciate you, Gordon.
All right.
Also,
I
I
gotta
love that.
pop off for a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're still going, I'll come back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just great
yeah.
time to go over this. Keeping Kevin in the dark is
It was
probably
just some
fun.
light humor. It was some light humor, Zach.
I don't know, Kevin. I don't know. So, yeah, Kevin, you hop off. I'll take over.
I'll try to come back in like 10 or 15 minutes.
We'll
if you end by then don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm going to do what I want, Kevin, because
Actually, I need to figure
I'm the
out.
captain now.
Oh, you know who?
I'm the captain.
Michael Bourne.
Fantastic. What was that? 2 games? Singular game?
Orioles
Very
legend.
cool.
Orioles legend.
You know what, Kevin? I'll give you that one.
All right.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Get out of here. Awesome. Let's go to our next one. We got Sam behind the scenes. Sam, what's up, my guy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's on your mind?
I don't know about us beating the Mariners pitching, but
Well,
yeah.
You gotta play the games. You just gotta hope that we find something finds a barrel. You just gotta hope maybe Holiday or Gunnar gets a 2-run home, or maybe O'Hearn, and then we can just find a way to shut them down.
I'm not worried about O'Hearn. O'Hearn's gonna rake. I'm worried about the other guys, but
yeah, I think that if you watch the whole season, I don't think that's a bad assessment at all. It feels like it's the other 8 guys. It's O'Hearn and friends at times.
yeah. So I wasn't watching earlier. I don't know if you mentioned this, but I thought Mayo looked a lot better today.
Yeah,
like he looked so much more comfortable.
I think that, without a doubt, I couldn't agree more. And I think even in his outs, he had control of the strike zone. He didn't look jittery in the box. So many times he's gotten in the box for an at-bat, and within the first pitch, you're like, at-bat's over. He doesn't have any clue. He doesn't know what he's looking for. I agree. I think he looked great. Obviously, he's rewarded with the RBI single. But even in his outs, I thought he showed great plate discipline. He wasn't swinging at the crap in the dirt. He was letting pitches go, and he was putting good swings on balls.
Yeah, and that's what happened with Holiday too, right? Like first couple times he was looking like that, swinging underwater, and then that grand slam against the Blue Jays, and then it was like everything went up. So hoping for the same.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing with Kobe Mayo is people forget just how few opportunities he's really had. Yeah, he has not been great. But like you said, Jackson Holiday, the guy we're looking at right now, is one of the saviors of this offense. He looked just as bad, if not worse, than Kobe Mayo his first 60 at bats. I mean, it was tough to watch. It was 1 for 28. It was trying to, striking out 20 times in 25 at bats. So it's possible. He's a young prospect. I think he's got a great, future ahead of him. You give him opportunities, I think, with, Mountcastle going down, this is an opportunity. He's going to get consistent-ish playing time and, just keep taking advantage of it. If he goes out there and he can just stack good at bats, I do think we could see him start to take off.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd love him to earn his spot. Like people are talking about, like we only brought him up because Mountie went down, but it's like if he's good enough to be an everyday guy, like let him be an everyday
Yeah.
guy. Like we need so many hitters. Like we're down so many guys.
Yeah, exactly. We are not at the point where we can say, if he doesn't produce, like it's whatever. You want
Yeah.
someone to go out there and earn it because if you can make this team better right now, you're going to get playing time. It's like, we talked about on the, kind of the opposite of Kobe Mayo. You can't just force him in the lineup because you're still trying to win games. You can't say, if he goes out there and fails every day, that's fine. So if he goes out and earns it, give him the spot. Let him go and run with it. If he's going to help you win games, let him help you win games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for him. I think he's really got a chance. Like he's got some power. We saw in the minors. Like I think he can really step it up if that continues. Like if tomorrow is like anything like today.
Yeah, I think I would send him right back out there tomorrow. Keep that confidence up. I mean, hell, he doesn't even need to get hit. Continue to put at bats together, get on base, whether it's a walk, whether it's a hit. And I think you're going to see Kobe Mayo get more and more comfortable up there. And that's where I think he's going to, really see his game take that next step. Is we've seen him in every level. He has succeeded at every level. He has dominated at every level. Once he gets comfortable, once he gets caught up, he gets, used to big league pitching. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he goes on a streak.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd say keep him batting. Like he's batting 6th today, right? I'd say like keep him
Yeah.
around there. He looked
Yeah.
comfortable,
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's one of those things. I think you want to put some guys behind him so he's got something back there to protect him. And I think, especially with the injuries and everything, there was nobody batting 7 through 9 today that I was like, well, he should be batting ahead of Mayo.
Yeah.
I'm not putting the Jorge's. I'm not putting the Ramon Urias. It's like,
well, Mateo proved us all wrong, but
yeah, exactly. Like, if he's going to do it for him, let him do it. But I agree. I think let Kobe keep hitting in that middle part of the lineup and just see what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. He looks like he was locked in today. Like I saw that first at bat, I was like, he's got it. Like some about his eyes just versus the other times.
It was comfortable. You felt like he had confidence, like he was comfortable. He didn't go up there and look like a deer in headlights where he's swinging at everything. And you're like, he has no plan. He has nothing. He's going up there to swing and hope that the ball hits his bat. Now he looked like he had an approach. He had a plan, and he went up there and he was executing.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, that's sort of what I felt like we've seen out of Adley too lately. Is what some of Kobe's earlier at bats looked like, where he was like Adley's like going down to a knee on like a fly out and stuff.
Yep.
And I feel like that's kind of what Kobe was like at the very, very beginning. But it's just about the steady improvement. It could be even something simple like what Holiday changed during the offseason with like they were showing the toe tap stuff.
Yeah.
Shorter swing. It's just those little adjustments.
It really is. And I think, Kobe Mayo has not gotten enough opportunity in the majors for people to be giving up on him, for people to say he's not worth it. So I agree. Keep giving him chances. Let him prove his worth, because I do think if he gets comfortable, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in this lineup.
Yeah. Is it? I didn't watch after the 7th inning. I was outside. But did Mateo stay in through the whole game, or did he?
No. So they ended up putting in Jordan Adams. So no, Mateo did not. But Mateo after the game did say he was fine. So we'll see.
Okay.
Hopefully.
So like precautionary, hopefully.
Yeah. It's just precautionary. I'm sure he just feels like his arm almost fell off after running into him. So
yeah, I had immediate flashbacks to last year.
Oh my gosh, I was like not because of course it was on the game that he was doing well, the game he was producing. So I got the exact same feeling. Sam, appreciate you calling in, man. Great to talk to you. Hope to talk to you again soon. Call in anytime, and we'll catch you next time.
I was one of the people that got gifted last night, so I was like, I'll on and
see, hop in. Just stay in the chat. You never know what's gonna happen. Sam, appreciate you hopping in and chatting.
All right, take care, man. See ya.
Awesome, take care. You see, I'm telling you, if you just stay in this chat long enough, this community is absolutely unbelievable. You'll probably get gifted something. And hey, you can call in. You'll never know what happens. So let's hop into our last call in. I mean, she knows who she is. We got Laura. The O's are doing better.
Hello.
O's are doing better.
O's are doing better. I've not gotten the shirt out. I'm wearing I got a puppy shirt today. So,
hey,
I don't know if I'm getting the shirt back out or not, though. I mean, yes, we have a great opportunity to sweep the White Sox, but we are talking about the White Sox here.
Laura, you know what? I think if they could sweep the White Sox and then win both series on the West Coast, I think we can start getting the shirts out. If they can
There we
go and
go.
prove it, you can go prove it, sweep the White Sox like you're supposed to, then go
Right.
prove that we can go win some games against some better ball clubs. Then we can start talking O's are fine.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. But I mean, at least we've won a series here.
It's a win's a win. A win is a win.
So, I'm going to take that as a win. I think the best thing that I heard from our good man Tony, is how he again is being consistent with the lineups, and it's not even about the whole thing, with Jackson hitting first, which is also great, but also just even if Adley isn't having success, Adley still knows he's going to be second. So he
Yeah.
knows what it is he's got to do to start having success in that spot. And the same thing with the rest of the guys. They really kind of know where they're going to be hitting, so they know what their role is.
Yeah.
And I think that is really making the huge difference here. And, the last week to 2 weeks here, I think Kieran put in the chat, that the team is
Yeah.
6-4 in their last 10 games.
Yes, 7-4 in their last 11.
That's nothing to sneeze at. That's definitely a positive trend. We're definitely starting to trend positive. So definitely getting impressed. Again, it's the consistency. We want to see some consistency here. Again, a sweep of the White Sox, again, should be expected. I like the fact that we are ending the month on a win.
Yes.
And I'm hoping we can start the month of June tomorrow on the 1st on a win.
Yeah.
Speaking of June 1st, want to throw out there again that is our good boy Steve's birthday.
Yes. It's going to be fun.
Let's give it up to Steve.
Hey, let's get a win for Steve on his birthday. That'll be.
Right, let's get a win for Steve on his birthday. I mean, that's really it. I'm just really glad with the positive trends. And can we just
Don't you love it?
that the cat runs across, because once the dog starts barking, the cat gets upset because he's barking
Yeah.
for a reason. That means it's time for me to go.
Yeah.
Listening to the Dodgers in the background. Sorry, a lot of chaos going on here at Casa Topless today.
I was going to say, you know what? At least the Dodgers are taking care of business.
Correct. The Dodgers are taking care of business on the Yankees, which again helps us because again, if we can get those teams in front of us to start losing, knock off you. You are not the neighbor to watch. Sorry. We can get those teams knocked down. We can, and we're winning. Hopefully, we can kind of. I'm not expecting us to, come back because we're 16 games out of first, maybe 15 games out of first now. But if we can get back in there to again where we can be reasonably expected to maybe compete for a wild card, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
That's all you can ask for.
Exactly.
Just, that's the thing. Get it to be competitive so that at least we can have something to hold on hope for down the stretch. I don't need it to be they, have the insane comeback. Keep it competitive. Give us something to watch down the stretch. Don't make it be over in July.
Correct. And, and then hopefully, again, at the trade deadline, hopefully we are, I know we're going to be sellers, but hopefully it is not the complete sell-off. Like I was saying a couple of days ago, sell, Mortimer, sell.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is I don't think you answered Jessica's question about the milk cake.
This is actually just went here today. Hell of it does not, but I'll tell you, it brought
today. Was that
it brought quite a line. Quite a line out, so it definitely brings the lines out. That's for sure.
It's bringing some boys to the yard.
It does.
Factory, definitely.
It did.
And it brought you. It brought you.
Exactly. So
Okay.
there we have it. There
Just
we
wanted to
have
make
it.
sure. That's all I got, Zach. Hopefully, I will talk
Awesome.
to you tomorrow. Hopefully,
Yep.
Kevin will be here.
Yeah, I hope
You
Kevin
know,
just bailing as usual.
it's-
Slacking, Laura.
it
I gotta
really
talk
is.
to him.
Really is.
I gotta talk to him.
And get Ryan to pop back in here every now and then. So
Yeah, we'll see what he's up to. We'll see what Old Rip is up to. Laura,
all right.
appreciate talking to you as
Always a
always.
pleasure. Till tomorrow.
Till tomorrow, Laura. Awesome. Appreciate everyone who called in. Another Orioles win. I'm glad, even though it's against the White Sox, we get to talk about Orioles wins. Talking about wins is a lot better than talking about losses, even if the season's not looking too great. But yeah, that's going to pretty much do it. That's going to do it for this edition of Kevin and Zach React. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We'll be back at it tomorrow as the Orioles take on the White Sox at 1:35. So 1:35 game. We'll be back here about, I guess, probably 4 o'clock. So be back tomorrow as the Orioles look to sweep the White Sox. Hit that like and subscribe button. That's going to do it for this edition of Kevin and Zach React. You all have a fantastic Saturday. David Lowe.